Elland Road fans, but perhaps this season more than ever. The Reds came to Elland Road only a little more than a year since George Graham had been installed as United's manager, his predecessor Howard Wilkinson having been sacked after a humiliating home defeat at the hands of Manchester United. The game was bound to be considered a measure of the progress United had made under Graham's management.
That was a good cross from Beckham, and Nigel Martin gathers the ball eventually. Gary Neville. A little bit of shirt pulling there. Again, the referee didn't spot it. Away goes Ribeiro. Good effort from him, just past the post. Michael was struggling for that one. Bruno Ribeiro letting fly. Kelly's cross. Oh, what a good header that was! David Weatherall stealing it at the far post for a rare goal from him. And the Leeds United defender heads past Peter Schmeichel. It's Leeds United 1, Manchester United 0.
That day, to be fair, we're getting really wired into us, which they had to, because basically they knew if they gave us time on the ball, we would probably beat them. To be fair, they played well on there. We were crap the same day. And eventually, I did probably lose my rag a little bit, but people have to remember, for the other 75 minutes, Haaland was pulling my shirt and kicking me when the ball wasn't there. And to be fair, I was quite happy with myself for the first 75 minutes because I never reacted, and then at the end I just tried to flick it back. It was like simple as that.
Anyway, at the time he played on. He played on for 2 or 3 minutes. Eventually came off, and after the game, Dave Fever, our physio at the time, said, "I fear the worst here." And we knew really that night there was a cruciate. You couldn't imagine being a good patient. No, you couldn't, because he loves to play, loves to train, and everything he does is done with energy. I explained to him the situation at the time, and I gave some certain examples of the work is going to need to be done in terms of sacrifice. And he knew right away. He knew absolutely, that clearly in his mind, that this was going to be a long job. I also said to him at the time, we're not going to rush it. It would suit us fine to keep you out a year, because you're young.
Atmosphere, and I think we were leading, but he just tried to tackle me, and I got the free kick, and he was sort of lying on the ground, and I just told him to get up, as I normally do with the players, you know, which is nothing more than that. I'm not trying to intend anything against him, so but obviously he took that very hard.
Still, he knew a night of drinking had taken its toll.
He himself attributed it to being on the piss like a couple of days previously and just being groggy as a result. So, I mean, here you have an undisputed fact that, you know, alcohol has essentially deprived him of a season. Possibly could have ended his career.
3 days before the game, Keane had a drinking session at a hotel in Manchester. At 3:30 a.m. he was drunk and got into a brawl with, unbelievably, United fans from Dublin. Roy was on the front pages of the tabloids again, and has confided this was a bitter pill to swallow.
Not for the first time, I felt a mixture of shame and remorse for letting everybody down. Teresa, my family at home, the club, Alex Ferguson.
Keane admits he was in no shape for the game. Too little sleep, too much despair. He describes his performance as bloody awful.
You're banging on all the time about dedication and professionalism, and you're going out and getting pissed. You're coming on the field with hangovers.
Haaland in return ensured that Keane would never forget the moment.
So Haaland is standing over him, saying, you know, you're feeling injury, but you're not fooling me. And Roy is thinking, I'm lying here with my career in the balance, and you're mocking me. You're calling me a cheat. I'll remember this.
You're very welcome, sir. How are you, first of all?
Not too bad, thanks, not too bad.
So how long will it be? What's the word?
It'll be about 8 or 9 months, I'd say. 8 or 9 months.
8 or 9
Yeah.
months. It's a long time.
It is a long time, yeah, but you just got to get on with it, you know.
Yeah, you're not feeling good about that, are there?
No, not too bad, you know. As you said, you just got to get on with it.
And do you mean you can do nothing with it, right? Like,
well, after the operation, I'll be in a brace for up to 6 weeks, and then I'll be in the gym, building my leg up, so...
Yeah. Are you in pain?
No, not too bad. I'll probably be in pain in about 2 weeks' time after the operation, but at the moment, not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want to say about this guy?
Well, you know, what can you say? You know, the funny thing is I played with Paul for about... Fortunate enough, I played about 30 games with Paul with the Irish team, but I never really, you know, knew Paul because he's obviously very quiet. And fortunately, I met him on holiday 2 years ago and got to know him and Caroline and the kids and whatever. And, you know, as I said, what can I say? As the lad said, he's a great bloke and, you know, a fantastic player. But he rang me last week, you know, about the man. He rang me last week after I found out about the injury. And he says, "Roy, sorry to hear about your injury." I says, "Thanks, Bob, for ringing." And he says, "Well, you know, no, you have to be careful, you know, don't be... You know, it's a serious injury, don't be going out and don't be drinking too much." I says... I swear, you know, I says, "Paul, are you really giving me a lecture at the moment?" He says, "You're right, I'm sorry," and he hung up, and that was it. That was it.
Well done. Right. But he was a boyhood hero, was he?
Of course he was, you know,
time,
you know, obviously watched the World Cup in 1990 and the Championships in '88, and you know, as I said, I was very fortunate to play with him. And when I was a young player, you know, he was the one player I looked up to.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate to play with him and got to know him and Caroline and the kids, and it's brilliant.
Great. So you are taking care of yourself, and you're not drinking too much, and you're not doing any of those things that Paul wouldn't recommend.
No.
I see. I'm sorry about the injury, but you'll be good.
I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. Okay. Thank you very much indeed for being here. You're very welcome.